Now then, welcome to this month's DMC group build. If you go and check it out on Facebook and on YouTube at the Diecast Modelers community, we do a monthly get together and build, and this month it's any plastic kit. Technically I'm using 2 of airfix's Triumph Herald. Terrific little kit. And here we go. I'd already made a start. What I've done, I've cut up 2 body shells so I could use the shell off one of them and the doors and boots off the other shell. I could have done it with a jeweler's saw, but it'd have been a lot of messing. And it worked just as well destroying one shell and getting the doors and boot out of it, and cutting the doors and boots out of the other. I've also done a lot of scratch building on the engine, replacing the timing cover, engine mounts, water pump. I've done distributor on it, an alternator, you name it, I've done bits and bobs under there. And all the other parts are in there as well. Anyway, here we go. Here's where I'd got with the body shell. I'd cut the doors and the boot out of it. I'd also put sun visor and a mirror inside. Well, it's got both sun visors. The other sun visor is up on the roof. I'd also made floor mats for it. And I've also made a petrol tank. There isn't a petrol tank in the original that was sighted on the near side, inside the near side boot area. And the Herald was a car that had a chassis, and it was just units bolted onto the chassis. Here you can see me work on the engine mountings and water pump, etc. It was just a basic. I've also put a proper oil filler cap on, and I've put the nuts that they had on the top of the rocker cover. I've put mesh inside the grill for a proper grill. And there's the other parts. It's not actually a bad little kit. There we are, you can see where I've got up to with the base. The petrol tank, the spur wheel, all the work on the engine and stuff like that. And next up we'll have the body coming up. But yeah, it's quite an enjoyable little kit as is. I suppose if you just built it as it was. I may buy another to just build a normal standard Herald. Who knows? Then and again I might fancy go with an Aston. Or even the Triumph TR they did, I think it was. And there you can see the under chassis. I actually made one of the bonnets I made with the proper inside wheel arches, because in the kit it has none, so it fits down over the engine. But as I had 2 kits, I cut out the rear arches out of the floor pan of the second kit and used them to make the interior arches on the bonnet, which give me more scope, I suppose. And here what I'm doing, I'm grinding out with my mini Dremel. I'm grinding out areas where they used to rust through. That used to be a dirt track there, and you got road salt and everything, and they rotted out just below the bumper. I'm putting a bit of a dent as well on the rear bumper. grinding out a bit of a dent and making it look good. Also doing some rot around the bottom of the doors. They always rotted out at the bottom of the doors. Most cars do, because the drain holes get blocked in the doors with debris, so they don't drain out and eventually all the moisture knocks them off. Because of a lot of car rot on cars, that drainage holes being blocked. And here I'm just taking off mould seams with the Dremel. Making it look a lot more presentable. The herald were pretty unique at that time, there weren't many. I think the E-type Jag did it as well, but the bonnet tilted forward. The Jaguar didn't give you anywhere near enough the same room as the herald did to work on it. I used to sit on my suspension on the one I owned and lean over the engine working on the engine. They were really mechanically accessible, the herald. They must be one of the easiest cars to work on. And here, they had instead of 2 leaf springs, the herald had 1 leaf spring across the back. It run, what is it they call it, transversely. And it could be entertaining when you're cornering. It caught me once and gave me a bit of a whip round. Spraying on some black, I'm not really bothered about it being a pristine finish, because it's going to be meant to be representing Undersea, that it does pretty well. And here what I've done, I've dabbed on some rust colour, various shades of rust colours, and the trick I'm doing here, I'm applying Marmite to all the areas that I want want the rust to show through. I actually did a bit more work after as well, with a stipple brush, stippling rust and the paint colour on. But here we go, we spray it with the colour that it's going to be. That goes over the top. In this case it's the baby blue colour. I forget what colour the colour were called, but the herald I had was meant to be that colour originally. And here I am, I'm drilling out the headlight bolts. I don't know why, because I didn't actually use that bonnet on the diorama. It's there if I want to swap it around. Here we are, taking off the Marmite with water and a brush, and then just dab it off with a tissue. Yeah, it's you lot down under will know it as Vegemite. And if you're not a lover like me, you'll probably think that's the best use for it. Anyway, that's the dashboard. I'd already painted it. It was like a wood effect, well, it was actually a veneered dashboard in the heralds. And here we go, I'm going to be gluing on the body now. Body onto the chassis unit. And it fits in lovely, to be honest. It's not quite prototypical at the back end. You don't have a drop down into the boot like you would do from the bumper on the real car, but other than that it's not that bad. It fits quite nice. For the age of the kit, etc., pretty impressed with it. I think it's a wee bit later, the kit, because the original heralds, that when they were introduced in 1959, had a handle on the bonnet. Anyway, there's a view of where we're up to at this stage. And you can see all the different bits and bobs I've done make a fairly big difference. Yeah, when heralds were first introduced in 1959, they had a handle in the middle of the bonnet, and they were a 948 engine, and this one looks like the 1200. But you could scratch build and represent any of the heralds really from it. If you wanted to go mad, you could even represent the estate and the van, the courier van, because it's all you'd have to do is build the roof unit and the side panels and the interior. Pooh, it says all. Anyway, at this point, I'm making a diorama base out of an old painting frame, just cut the corners off in a mitre box, and then I've glued the cover off an hardback book in to make the base, filling it up with polyfiller here. I always do this way, it's a cheap way for bases. I've done a few dioramas using this now. Just wipe off the edges. I've filled in the sides as well where it's not quite filling proper on the frame, and there I'm just sanding down the bits I'm using for the curbing edges, because there's going to be a paved area on the diorama. And there's the paved edges going in. Ding dang do. And it's looking good. Trying to make the paved area and the grassed area as flat as I can to a degree. There's gonna be, my plan is there, that there's going to be a flower bed, and here I'm just marking out what it's only a scrap Weetabix box for the cardboard. I'm marking out what's going to be flagstones, roughly about the same size, just no measuring involved, just done by eye. Here I'm just sanding off excess filler that I don't want on. Shaping up the frame before I sprayed the frame black. You can equally though, just as well, brush paint the frame whatever colour you want. As I say, you don't need to pay silly money for dioramas. Just get a old frame from a skip. Here we are cutting the flagstones up. As I've said, they're just out of an old cereal box. Some PVA glue put down, and we'll start laying the flags. I've cut one down for in the corner there first, then one after the other, dink dink dink. Bit further on now, and still laying them. I wish you could get a builder to do it this quick and sell you. put in some more flags there, and off we go again. And there we are, finishing touches. There we are, that's the flagged area built up. And on the grassed area I'm just doing a slightly darker colour, so it's not as bad when we put the grass down, because I'm going to be static grassing it. I'm just putting PVA on for the static grass. And here we go with me. I made a homemade applicator, I weren't forking out for a shop one. All it is, that is a fly swatter and tea strainer altered to fit and suit my purpose. Anyway, there we go. I've sprayed the paving with paving colour, and here's where we finished up after adding the figures and some scenics. I painted the figures separately. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and even better, if you can press the bell icon for notifications, so you know what's coming up next on my channel. That would be absolutely superb. And anyway, all that remains to say is take care out there, and tatty bye, tatty bye, tatty pie. And I'll just let you watch this as it goes out, and enjoy just watching the model. And bye for now.